welcome to a potpourri of stuff today.
Oh,
And we're going from the sublime to the sublimer, or the ridiculous to the ridiculouser. That's a good word for you. Put that in the dictionary.
put that in the Oxford Dictionary, that's right.
It's not there, it should be. Right. We're going to, oh, well, it's a bit sad. We'll start off a bit sad. But I tell you what, there are real problems in Britain that are only just starting. Was a gentleman called Adrian Poulter, age 56, went into the hospital in Poole, next to Bournemouth, Dorset,
Yeah.
and one of many. And suddenly his family visited him, and there was a notice on the bed, nil by mouth, which is the favourite saying of don't feed him.
Mhm.
He's on his way out. Now, apparently, there's been a real downturn in the number of nurses to take care of you if you're in any way out on the spectrum, if you're in any way dementia-wise, and they've not got the nurses to cope. And it does need coping with. They've got special needs, these people.
Yeah.
And he was just, it was too late. He died 8 days later because the family didn't understand, the family were not consulted, and he was just dismissed. He was literally, and his family. Now, this goes on the whole time.
Yeah.
Called the Liverpool pathway in many areas.
Oh, I know, don't they? Yeah, no, don't.
They decide when you're going to go.
That's
And
right.
when you look at the two death bills, one about abortion, the other about, yes, euthanasia, however you want to call it, that is what's happening under this, as it will do, extreme left-wing socialist communist. I use the word communist, Marxist perhaps, government. You are in the state's hands at the most vulnerable time in your life. Let me tell you, in Spain and Portugal, that wouldn't have happened, or in France. They'd have looked after you.
Yeah, different. I mean, I saw it myself when I lived in Portugal. The treatment people got was so very different to over here. And it is also, I think, a location lottery. Depends where you are and how stretched those people are. But yeah, I mean, the hours that elderly people just spend on these trolley beds in corridors is absolutely horrendous. You know, I mean, anything when you're that like close to end of life. Then I heard a story yesterday from a friend that who went to the GP in April, and he was constantly being sick, and it was coming out both ends. And he went to the doctor. Oh, it's a virus. And drink lots of water. Drank lots of water. It still continued. Oh, it's a virus. So you had 3 times of being told it's a virus. And then he lost so much weight that he then went into hospital, and it turned out that he had a twisted gut. So 3 times the GP just said, oh, it's a virus. Didn't think that, hang on, this is continuing. This isn't right. This is this year, only this year. And he was in hospital. He's only just come out. My friend says, a neighbour of hers, that he's lost so much weight. Of course, he's got muscle wastage because he was actually in hospital for 8 weeks. So she said he can hardly walk. He's a skin and bone. And that's because the GP was just, virus. I mean, I'd rather GPs, they are general practitioners. I would rather that they sent nearly everybody to a consultant, quite honestly, because they get it wrong so many times.
Yeah, you cannot be an expert in everything. That's
Well,
why
you can't.
call consultants.
Yeah, that's why it's called general practitioner, isn't it? I mean, as a GP, you may have a speciality that you might be a skin consultant or blood, or you might have an expertise, but you're in a surgery dealing with general practice. So you're going to have everything from ingrown toenails to tonsillitis to cancer, aren't you?
Well, they're saving money the whole time. I mean, if you've got anything wrong with you at all, you tend to get over medicined in
Mm,
Spain, particularly.
yeah.
and you'll be up there having a blood test, which would highlight what is going on in 99% of cases. Getting a blood test through the NHS is not easy.
No, it's not. No, you can't just rock up. You have to book in. And if you go on, you have to do it all online. So, it might be 2 weeks before you get a blood test. So, yeah. I mean,
And
blood tests can pick up so much, can't they? They can actually trace cancer.
yeah, and a further 3 weeks to get your result, by which
Yeah,
time
oh, yeah,
it's too late.
yeah.
Okay, I mentioned abortion. We'll go into that as well, because Spain have decided to make abortion part of their constitution. Now, there's a major difference here between advice, medical advice, and putting it in the constitution, which is fairly immovable. The right to abortion, of course, it's all about winning women's votes. My body, my right is the favourite saying from the States. The baby would say exactly the same thing at most stages in its life, but it's not got any right to vote, has it?
Well, I think I personally, if I'd been raped, I would not want that baby.
There's always exceptions to the rules.
You can, I suppose you could say, well, the baby could be adopted, you could have it, and then you could do that. I personally, though, I suppose I would find it very difficult. I was in a situation on Monday morning, where I was with my little granddaughter, and she started at this thing called Play Skill, and it's a special little charity set up for under 5-year-olds who have got neurological conditions, yeah. And she was there, and she looked actually amazing compared to some of them. They were all first-time mums. They only have 7 or 8 children per session and about 12 adults around them, because very much 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1. You have physio, you have play therapy and communication, but there was one child there that had spina bifida. And the mother said, I knew I was going to have a spina bifida child. And the family said to me, you're not to have it. And I said, well, I'm not aborting it. And so she had it, and the family have completely ignored her. And that's dreadful. And she said, I'm not. And I actually said to my son and daughter-in-law, I said, if somebody had told you, I mean, and I said, I don't know, but I can imagine, as she was IVF, have you ever thought, oh my goodness, why did we do this? We didn't need to. And they went, no. And I said, if you'd been told 6 months, 5 months that, your child had this lysanthropathy or was Down syndrome, what would you have done? She said, well, we would have had a baby. I said, well, so would I. I don't feel I could have an abortion. I don't think my conscience, my spiritual conscience and my faith wouldn't let me do that. Now, that's not to say if I had been raped and I got pregnant, I am certain sure I would probably put that up for adoption, because you don't know what that child's inherited, but I don't know. But I think it is a very personal thing for a woman. But I think some people use it as a form of sort of what do you call it? Birth control.
Yeah, birth
I think
control,
some people do use it as birth control, and that is absolutely outrageous.
It is.
And if you keep getting pregnant and you keep having an abortion, and then you should, I think, after a while, you should be neutered.
Well,
You can't use children like this. It's just
take
awful.
the day after pill, isn't it?
Yeah. That's right. But it's a very tricky one. I was listening to GB News just now, and it got very heated about, should surrogacy be banned, right?
Yes.
And I don't think it should be banned personally. I think it's weird. I do think it's weird. How does someone who is the surrogate mother, who's already got children, and those children know you're pregnant, and then you give the baby away? I mean, there's a strange message there, isn't there, really, for the children? That, having said that, my sons have got a friend whose wife had terrible cancer, and she was told she couldn't get pregnant at all for at least 7 years because of the toxins from the medication and the chemo and all of that. So they took the eggs out. And then they were working in America at the time, so they had a surrogate. And I've always thought it was odd because this lady also had a 4-year-old. And I thought, well, what's she going to say to the 4-year-old when this baby disappears, you know? But that little girl, I mean, it is the complete DNA of mum and dad. So it's not like somebody else's egg or anything like that. It is. And she's absolutely beautiful. And I mean, there was, I've had quite a bit of a ding dong going on Twitter with Surrogacy Concern, it's called, an organization. And they were a little bit judgmental, so I put them back in their space.
Well, it's a difficult subject, and
But it's a very personal one.
yeah, and passing laws on subjects like this is not easy.
It's not
The
easy.
law in Spain, basically, within the constitution, if it goes through, and it looks as though it could well do, we have a situation that up to 14 weeks, it's up to mum to say whether she wants to get rid of.
Well, yeah, you know you're pregnant for long enough. I mean, there you
Well,
go.
yeah. And then, of course, from 14 weeks to 22 weeks, it has to be a doctor's decision.
Right.
From 22 weeks onwards, then it's got to be serious problems that could develop. But that is coaching horses you can drive through.
Well, it is
Psychologists.
difficult because one of the children, apart from the spina bifida one, there were three in this group, very obvious Down syndrome babies. I mean, Lydia looks like a completely normal, healthy baby. You wouldn't know anything was wrong with her. And then there was other little boy. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was tragic. And they're all first-time babies, yeah. And this boy was 18 months and he had this enormous buggy that he was in. It was, I don't know, I think it must have been custom made, I think. But on it he had oxygen tubes going into him. So this buggy had to hold the oxygen cylinders. Then he was also tubulated and fed. He had absolutely no connection or anything with the people that were helping, and he had extreme cerebral palsy. And I just thought, my goodness, how does that poor man? I mean, the child, there was nothing. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there was like, and you think, crikey, you know, how do you cope with that? I mean, I doubt the little boy even knows who his mum is. He was completely unresponsive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to know a midwife years ago, and she said, I said, oh, I would love, must be a lovely job. She says, it's a lovely job if you get nice parents, and the baby's healthy, but you can't believe some of the stuff that we actually see. And some of it is, you know, you would have thought that it wouldn't meet full term, but it has, and it's got born, and really, you have to, it's not a viable life, you know?
Well, you've got to think back quite a long time ago now, when the midwife ruled the roost and there were babies that had their lives shortened
Yes,
if anything was wrong.
yes.
And nobody said anything. Well, it was almost accepted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes. But I mean, back then, you go back to the 1950s, like call the midwife. There wasn't the. I mean, nowadays, I think babies and children are living with a variety of different conditions because we've moved on so long. And as for all these conditions that I've been hearing about over the last a few months, I think I've never heard of these. I mean, I've never heard of lysanthropy. I mean, I have no idea. I've never heard of it. And I've had 4 children. I've got 8 grandchildren. I've been working in schools. I've never heard of a load of these conditions where certain internal body parts aren't joined up. And oh my goodness me. And I wonder, I suppose conspiracy theory really, why is it? Is it because women leave babies later? And of course, eggs are not as healthy, are they? Is it, I don't think it can be to do with IVF, but if it was, no one would tell you, would they?
No, there's so
You know,
many
is it COVID? Is it a
imponderables.
COVID jab? Because that would still be in the mother's body, unless you've been detoxed from it, and that's unlikely. So I don't know. I just find it. There seems to be an awful lot of babies. I don't like saying deformed. I don't like saying disabled. You're born different. They're just born different, and I think that's a more compassionate way of describing a child.
Mm.
But there's a lot of it.
We move on, and we're still in Spain. And even though we've got a real lefty government here, by the way, on our previous topic, it's only France that have actually included in their constitution about abortion.
And what have they
The
said?
rest of the 27 members of the EU, no, they said, no, we're not going to put it as signed, sealed, and delivered. And
So what have the French said?
it's within their constitution.
That you can or you can't.
Their law says very similar to Spain. That's the what our constitution says, thou shalt, as opposed to, if you like, non-constitutional law,
Right.
which you can fight a lot easier.
They're difficult topics, though, aren't they?
Yes,
Very, very emotive.
it
Very
is.
emotive.
Well, I'll move on to something else that's very emotive and makes people really mad. At least Spain have got this one right. It's about to happen, we are told. When you go to a bank and you transfer money from one bank to the other, then you've got so many hoops to jump through, all with cautions on. Are you sure you know this person? Do you know he's got a bank? Lots of things. And with the threat, if you get it wrong, then you've lost your money.
Yeah.
How dare they? And at last, the Spanish law is going to change. You're not going to get out of that. You should be checking that is a serious person at the other end of the chain that's receiving the money, that the bank account details are correct. And it's not somebody, dare one say, without getting into trouble. Yes, it's not somebody in Nigeria.
Yes, well, anyone that's a scammer or a catfisher, that you're not, it happens, doesn't it? So much
does.
of it about.
So you can't get away with it any longer, banks in Spain. Hooray! It should be general over the whole of Europe, that.
Yeah, of course.
One tick. It's the only tick I've ever given to banks in Spain, as you well know. They're about the worst in the world, except in this instance. We're going to America now. We're going to a mega church with Pastor Robert Morris. Been there since the 1980s. Sexual abuse accused of. The young lady was 12 years old at the time, Cindy. And he had a relationship with her for 4 years.
You can't have a relationship with a 12-year-old.
No, exactly. He did. Carried on, as I say, for 4 years. And it's taken this long to bang him to justice. Ha ha. He's given a 10-year suspended
here we go.
jail sentence.
Here we go.
In other words, been let off. But actually, he had to go to jail for 6 months. What a shame.
It's just outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is absolutely, and they go on about how, Trump Trump himself is like, really, violence against women and girls, we're stamping on that and all that. You're not, neither are they here. I've just had an email literally just before I came on air from a gentleman who lives down in Hillingdon, and his daughter is 16 and has ADHD and autism, and she was walking down the street, and there were 7 migrants that came up to her and pinned her against a wall and groped her and touched her up and all the rest of it. And it's one of these migrants that came out of one of the hotels, right? And he was asking me, would I go and do a silent protest? I don't do protests at all. I would rather talk to the police. I'd rather talk to the press. I haven't had time to reply to him. But, she said he's absolutely traumatized. Well, I'm not surprised.
for the rest of her life.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So I'm going to have to write back to him and say I don't. He wanted me to go and like this, what do you call peaceful protest? Well, they never are peaceful, are they? I mean, I can't. And talking about that, I don't understand how, with all the stuff that's going through now, hopefully it will, Gaza and the war will end, hopefully. But it's like eggshell time at the moment, isn't it? That why are they allowing pro-Palestine marches this weekend?
It's
I
wicked.
mean, this to me says they are actually anti-Semitists.
They're getting away with it. They've got away with it for months and years. And like the grooming gangs, the government don't want to do anything.
Exactly right.
It affects their
Exactly right.
own.
Did you hear the lady who got in? She got into the council up north somewhere as a lady reform lady, and she was speaking last night, and she was saying, "I am going to take issue with this because it is very clear that the government do not want to do anything about the rape gangs. They don't. The inquiry is clear because it
No,
would have been started by now, wouldn't it?"
we think we've got rape gangs just in the known centres. No, around those known centres, there are towns like Blackpool,
Yeah,
Burnley, big towns,
yeah,
and they are ignored.
yeah. I mean, Blackburn's dreadful.
It
Blackburn's
is,
also,
but there again, you've got the same problems with a
exactly
big
right. It's like
community.
apartheid up there. You've got like the Asians one side and the Asian schools, if you like, or the English schools where the Asians go. And then you've got the other side. It's a very bizarre town. I actually like it up there. I find the people very, very friendly. But it's very strange how they live in their like ghettos, really.
Yeah, we know the area very well, obviously, coming from that area ourselves. And it saddens me if it's like that around. Blackpool has its own individual problems.
Mm.
Blackburn and Burnley, the other, it's the Lancashire Reform Group that's had a real go at this.
Yes.
And we've got to get to grips in a lot of things. I am sick of lies. And I'll tell you one lie I'm particularly sick at. And it's only just started, Sir Keir, but I hope it's your end. And that is two gentlemen have been diagnosed as spies. Of course,
Mm.
they spies allegedly, I will say. And they've been giving stuff to China for a long time. But just because Sir Keir wants to get on with Xi and not spoil any chance of a decent trade deal with him, he's used his knowledge of the law to get round the problem. Because apparently, if you're accusing a person of spying, you've got to make sure that he's your enemy. You've got to state China, in this case, is our enemy. Russia is our enemy,
Right.
as an example. But Sir Keir is not prepared to do that. He's prepared to cover it up to get this long coming so-called trade deal, which would probably be in their interest more than ours. Now, this is connivance, but guess who's behind it? Hidden in the shadows again, Lord Hermer.
Oh, he's an absolute, oh, he's a nightmare. And again, jobs for the boys. Jobs for the boys. I mean, it is so blatantly obvious. You've got, you've got Starmer keeping a door open for Mandelson to stay on as a Lord Peer, which I think is absolutely dreadful. And then Hermer, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And of course, what's going to happen is he'll come back from where he is now, India, and he'll have to face, all the stuff that's going to be coming at him about this. But he'll just turn around and he'll say something like, "Well, I didn't know." Well, you should know. You should know if you're running something, you should be across everything. That's the job. That's the job, isn't it? But he won't resign. I mean, I was watching GB News last night and it was all about, this is it. This is it for him. It won't be it for him because he'll find a way of squirming out of it and he will survive again.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
Well, I hope
Yeah,
I'm
you're
wrong.
right.
I
Well, I
hope
hope
I'm
you're
wrong.
wrong.
But the thing is, if he goes, who the heck have you got to replace him? The whole government should go.
Yeah, and it can't go on. I mean, we keep saying this that Boris was downed on Partygate. Now, compared with what's happened to
I know.
Starmer and his mates, whether they be
Hmm.
called
Hmm.
Angela or whatever, it's horrendous.
I know it's awful. I mean, he was very quick to say stuff about Boris and all the rest of it. That this person should go, that person should go. He won't go. I swear he won't go. I'm sure he will have made himself ring-fenced himself so he can squirm out of it, just like he did with Mandelson.
Yes,
He
of
should never have appointed Mandelson. He knew the history.
course he did.
And he knew that, and everybody knows he knew it. But oh, all of a sudden, that's gone out the window. You know, there's no one's going on about that more. He just gets on a plane, doesn't he? When the going gets hot, he's on another plane.
Yes, he'll find a way out of it, as most
He will.
lawyers
Well,
do.
I'm absolutely convinced he will. He shouldn't. He's got no integrity, but he will.
No, he's not. Talking about integrity, how about this is for integrity? We'll lighten the mood slightly. Morrison's, they've got an app, and you are prepared to put that on your phone, are you? Well, if you are, then the boss man will see how fast you're working. Yes. Are you filling shelves up fast enough? Are you advising customers fast enough? Because they've discovered that there are certain people more lazy than others.
Oh, really? Oh, you don't say.
Yes.
What a
And everybody's
surprise.
got to have this app on their phone so Big Brother can see how you are
Oh, my
working.
goodness me. You know,
Well, my answer to that, of course, is forget the tech. My answer for a lot of things is forget the tech. If you've got a decent manager on the floor, he
absolutely.
knows exactly who's pulling
You
their
know who's
weight.
gone off to the bathroom. You know everything. Of course you do. Well, you should. You should be over everything. You should be across everything, not living in your own little silo in your little office. You know, you should know everything that's going on. And that's what I say. The success of any organization starts at the top. A fish rots from the head down, and it's the same with an organization. If the guy at the top or the woman at the top is not up to it, then the whole thing falls apart.
I'm surprised at Morrison's because they've appeared to be the more family firm.
Yes.
That's their, yes, raison d'etre. But it's obviously not working. How about this one then? This will wind you up. Hijab in schools from age 3 till 7. That's a good idea in parts of the country. They're letting that happen. Now, can you imagine going into a classroom, 3 and 4 year olds, and 3 hijabs walk in, and the rest of the children say, "Oh, what's that you're wearing?" And then you go through possible problems with that. Now, these are people coming from abroad accepting so-called our way of doing things. And they're the ones that are putting the divisions up in our
I mean,
society.
they are. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other day as well. There was a primary school. I can't remember where it was. There was a primary school, and these 6-year-olds had a Muslim male teacher, right? And it was the start of the morning, and he said, "Oh, we're all going to pray to Allah." And this little boy said, "Well, I'm not praying to Allah. I'm Christian." And this teacher turned around and said, "Well, you'll be, what's he said? You'll be Muslim by the time you're in year 6."
Yes, that's what he
I
said.
mean, he should be sacked. There's
On the spot. He should never have been
absolutely,
there in
he
the
should,
first place.
it's brainwashing. It's absolutely outrageous. I mean, and that's what you see. This is the trouble. You don't know what is said in a classroom, do you? You don't know what messages the children, the teachers are actually giving. You trust them to be sensible, but I've heard when I was teaching, because I used to just literally just walk into a classroom or something and see what was going on, and I've heard uh, some outrageous things really from teachers and student teachers.
Yes.
But I mean, I just could not believe that. I'd be furious. I mean, I'd be furious if a teacher said that to my child. I mean, I would literally back out the front gates. Like, I just, it's awful. It's awful. Shouldn't
Yeah,
be in the job at all.
we've been brainwashed. Let's brainwash the kids. And gaslight, same thing. Now, generally speaking, lots of good and bad programs on television at the moment. What do you believe? Do you believe anything you're told on the news these days? Certainly, you've got to be aware, as we keep mentioning, both news, television, radio, and newspapers, where they're coming from. But we do get a bit tired of the, and this is not a political statement, the extreme leftists that they tend to get in a program to wind you up. Now, folks, and GB News is as guilty of this as anybody.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And we don't need winding up. We just want the truth. And if you get somebody there that is so tunnel vision and comes out with the most outrageous statements, you turn the blooming thing off if you've got any sense.
Yes.
And then their viewing figures go down. But of course, there's left and right opinions. And as long as they're cogently explained in genuinely search for the truth, we welcome both sides. But not somebody there that's deliberately planted to wind you up. Although one has to mention that there is a certain tunnel vision from the left that unfortunately you can argue or discuss even till you're blue in the face. It wouldn't make any difference. And those are the type of people that you should avoid. You want the people that will give a cogent argument and not just...
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, I do like Patrick Christie's, but sometimes late at night it does get a bit leery. People get a bit over the top. But my daughter said to me today, because I was supposed to be going into London on Saturday to see a friend, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going to go in now. They're going to have the pro-Palestine marches because." Yeah, I said during the week, I said they all started off at King's Cross Station, and people couldn't get off the trains. They couldn't get on the trains to go back home. They just literally took over King's Cross. And so I was supposed to be seeing my friend at St Pancras, which of course is next door. And I said, it would really frighten me if that was to happen. And, you know, and stop watching GB News, Mum. And I went, but it was there to see. It wasn't someone telling a story. You could see the Palestinian marchers going through King's Cross. You could see that they hadn't created that story. You can't deny what's on a film or a photograph, can you? But it does worry me, because she was saying, "Oh, do you want to come in when they're coming over from Bermuda in 2 weeks' time? Or do you want to go and see Mamma Mia that's in London?" See, and I went, "Well, I don't really want to go into London." But it worries me, because you got to get on the train, the tubes, you know.
The rants that are going on many programs, of course, the favorite one is look at how many children have been killed, and we have mentioned this before, 300,000, let's put it as a figure. And where do you get the figures from?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Come from Hamas.
And they're going to go around counting. You can't even get under the rubble in some places. How do they know?
Well, indeed, but they accept everything, and the fact that the human shield is made by little children is
absolutely. No, that's true. That is true.
Without excuses, but they don't seem to. They won't see the truth.
No.
I've just been sent a clip. Yes, it's from a Jewish source trying to explain this, and it is very, very good. And when you saw the rejoicing about Trump's new 20-point scheme that's going to go slow, in my opinion, the thing isn't over yet.
No.
And you saw the Jews rejoicing, quite a lot of them. You saw the people of Gaza rejoicing and speaking, obviously, in Arabic. And nobody has highlighted this. You trace that Arabic, and it says literally, because it's referring to an occurrence 1,400 years ago, which was part of the Middle East, where the Muslims invaded a town and killed so many Jews you can't imagine. And that's what they were referring to. And at the end of the quotation, they were saying, and we'll come and get you, basically. We've got the peace, now we can come and get you. Why didn't somebody translate that for Main Street media?
Absolutely.
I wonder.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't rejoicing that there's going to be peace. They thought they'd won.
It's never as easy as that, but with anything, with any unrest, let alone dealing with people in the Middle East. I mean, God, again, we've waded in and we got ourselves involved, and I don't know. I mean, I really hope it is the end. I really hope it is the end, but I think there's a long way to go down the river yet. And there will be some boulders on the way that are going to come up. And I think one of the best ones is, what's he going to do now, Trump, that Hamas don't want Tony Blair involved? And who can blame them?
Yes.
I mean, I was really surprised that I was really surprised that Trump actually sort of came out and said that. I thought, why
something's going on there that we are not aware of.
Absolutely, absolutely. I thought, why on earth would you want him? He's got blood on his hands after all he did with the Iraq War and everything. Why would you want him? Where's he suddenly popped up from again? I still think there's some deals being done over this. I'm sure there's some deals being done with Iran. You know, I mean, I'm certain there are. I don't know. But I mean, it's how people high up in government, it's how they get things over the line, isn't it?
Yeah. And we brought up previous week's Archbishop of Canterbury, the new one. And I used to chair a program called Catholic Unscripted.
Oh, right.
No, I'm not a Catholic, but I still chaired the program. And there were a lot of leading Catholics, bishops, etc., or the equivalent of, on the program. And that series came to an end. Well, it's been resurrected. And somebody sent me a clip of it, which was very good. And now we all remember dear old Calvin on GB News with the fluffy hair. He's in America.
Yeah, that's right. Went to the States, yeah.
Yeah. And he was on there with a lady and another gentleman, and they were going on about our new Archbishop of Canterbury, which you'd never hear from the Canterbury side at all. But they were saying how utterly disgusting this was. She's supposed to be a Christian, and there she's going pro-abortion, which of course the Catholics are very much against. And she's going to approve of anything LGBT, especially in church blessings. How can this be the new Archbishop of Canterbury? Now they can have a go, and I supported, as a non-Catholic, what they said, that she'd no right to be there in that position,
but
being basically a non-believer, because you are called within the church to preach the gospel.
Well, correct. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're Catholic or C of E or Methodist or Baptist or whatever you are. I mean, it is promotion of life, isn't it? I don't think it says anywhere in the Bible about abortion, does it? Does it? I know surrogacy is mentioned in the Bible. I know, but I don't know. I mean, you'd have thought she'd make more of a presence, having just been given the job, unless she can't do that till she's inaugurated. I don't know, but I mean, and I suppose being a woman, she's saying it's a woman's right. Maybe that's her reasoning.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
But even so, that doesn't sit comfortably with me, I have to say.
No, indeed. Right, we will cheer you up now, because we've had the harvest moon, of course, and it's been brilliant, especially.
That was amazing. We were so fortunate. Apart from when it was the full moon, it was cloudy here. But the night before, oh my goodness, I thought, what? Why is everything in the house so bright? And I looked out and I thought, is that full moon? It wasn't, just the top left-hand bit wasn't quite, ever so quite not. But you could see the craters. It was extraordinary. And I texted my sister and I said, is it full moon or not? Because she's like me, she loves the night sky. And she said, I'm looking at it as well. She said, it's lit up the whole valley where we are in Southampton. That was it. It was stunning. And if you missed it, you really missed something. I mean, I love the night sky. I'm fascinated with it. I really am. I've got a great big book on it. I love it. Like trying to find the constellations and on. I can remember once it was so clear and pure the night sky. Actually, I got my children out of bed and woke them up because you could see even beyond the galaxy. It was amazing. If you trained your eyes, it wasn't just, you could see forever, forever. It is, I find it quite humbling actually that here's our little Earth. And when you see it like that, you think, are we the only life? I don't know. There must be. I just find it absolutely gobsmacking. When I years ago when I was married to my other husband, we went to Lake Geneva. We stayed in Evian, and we stayed in an apartment there. And I would sit up two, 3 in the morning, and it was completely un. It was just black. It wasn't ruined with neon lights. Oh, you never got tired of watching comet after comet, shooting stars. Incredible. Loved it.
I've got a treat for you then,
Ooh.
because when the moon starts fading, so when this dies down, which will be perhaps in another 10 days, then get out there, you will see meteor showers like maybe you've never seen before.
Oh, wow.
And on average, of course, Halley's Comet comes into this, mainly Halley's and other comets, but Halley's Comet comes around every 76 years. And it leaves
didn't know that.
a good deal of muck behind it. Crystals, ice crystals, and actually little rocks, and sometimes bigger than little rocks. And the Earth goes through this meteor shower in the opposite direction. And the velocity of this shower is impressive. If I tell you 41 miles per second, that is fast. Now, the meteor shower of this type, once every 90 seconds, you will see a new meteor. That is mega. And you'll see them in all sorts of colours, because the little gas ones, the ice gas ones, are made up of various different types of gases. And when they're burning up into our atmosphere, they shed different colours. It can be quite spectacular. So there you are. It won't be so bad in November either, but try and get your look-see in before end of October.
Wow, I don't know, because even where we are down here, we have had this year quite a lot. We've been able to see the Northern Lights. Incredible. Absolutely. I mean, we're Woburn. We're like Bedfordshire. I'm really clear. The thing is, you can't see it so much with the naked eye, but you can see it through the lens of your camera. When you photograph it, you see the whole. It's stunning. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. So, I mean, that's lovely. Have you ever seen a moon set?
A moon set, what does that mean?
Red.
Oh, I see. Yes.
When we lived in
Portugal, in the
Portugal,
atmosphere, yes.
I've only ever seen it once.
Atmosphere and goes red, yeah.
Yeah, I've only ever seen it once, and it was when we were living in Portugal, and we were up south of Porto, north of Lisbon, and we were on the longest lagoon. It's about a 6-mile lagoon, the longest lagoon in Europe, and our apartment and our place was right by there. And I can remember waking up in the morning, and there it was. It was really red, and I thought, "What on earth is that?" And it was the moon set. I've never seen it before. Extraordinary.
Yeah, lovely. Right, again, a different subject, and perhaps we should have mentioned this earlier because I was aware. Sometimes we get tips in the financial world, and we don't normally publish them because they can go wrong, especially the big jumps and the big falls. Lots of things contributing to them. But silver has been tipped about a month ago to us as being due for going up in value a lot. Never mind gold, silver.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's happened. Good pundit, $39 to $47 an ounce.
Wow.
That's 30 and a bit percent in a very short time.
Wow.
They say that it's got further to go. This is not recommended, folks. It's very high risk, and we're not advocating it because
This is solid silver.
now that's important because everybody loves silver, especially
I like silver. I prefer silver to gold, actually.
candelabras, for instance. But if you're buying silver to invest, you've got to really know the melt value of it.
Yes.
In other words, buy the little tiny in comparison with the great big heavy things. They're like medallions. They're pure silver. Both from America and UK is the best place to obtain this. It's full-blown silver with no other metals. Because if you buy a candelabra, oh, it'd be an investment. No, it's not, because there's that many other metals in it. By the time you've melted it down and got the pure silver out, you think,
that's right. It should. So I watch. I like watching a program called Flog It, where they go around lovely, mansion houses, and people rock up with their bits and pieces. And yeah, and there's about like UK silver, that's continental silver, but it's like 98. Well, 98 out of 100. It's almost as pure silver as you could get. But I do like it. I do like. I think probably maybe when you get older as well, your skin color changes as well. And I think maybe if you're carry a nice tan, then maybe gold looks nice on you. But I used to like yellow gold a lot, but I've in recent years, for probably about 20 years now, I much prefer silver.
yeah, we're coming to the end, hasn't time
I
gone?
can't believe how fast it's gone.
There you go. We mentioned Nobel Prizes in the last, and maybe we should mention it again. Trump's not got it. This lady who's probably very worthy of it in Venezuela, she stood up against the regime there for years, has been granted that. It's got a mixed past, this prize. It's worth just over $1 million, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it's worth
So
hanging
they
out.
actually, oh right, so they actually win a monetary
Oh,
award.
yeah. I mean, the Donald wouldn't notice it's pocket money, but I mean, he wants the prestige, so does everybody. It was decided actually earlier this year, so it's not anybody being spiteful, but
Yeah, but not only that, it's there's a long road to go with this yet, isn't there? So maybe next year, and but who knows, maybe next year he might have sorted out Putin as well.
well, he's got two battles. One, no, as we've mentioned, is not the end of it. We should be thinking still, praying even still, that this goes through the peace deal. But if you look at who chooses, that's going to be a lot of the people that choose are actually not. He said originally a Swedish
All right.
entrepreneur that decided, Mr. Nobel, that he's got lots of spare cash. Let's do some good with it. But a lot of the people now that choose are from Norway, and a lot of them are globalists. Now, the Donald and globalists, and many of us, don't see eye to eye exactly. So I'm afraid politics could get in the way of this.
It's just like any of these award things, isn't it? Like you look at which I don't ever watch, I can't bear it. The Eurovision Song Contest. I mean, that is always
Winds
oh
me up
my
every well,
goodness.
never
If you
watch.
come from Romania or anywhere else, you're going to win. Why we ever bother entering it is beyond me because it is political. It absolutely is.
Cruel. Listen, we have to finish on some foodie stuff. There you are, lighten the mood again. So let's move over to the States to finish off with. And there's a massive survey been done about how not to die of cancer, which seems to be on everybody's tongue continually. And the one thing that is not good for you, well, a number of things aren't. Red meat is a no-no, according to some people. Certainly, manufactured meat, when they put nitrates in its sulfites, goodness knows what, is not recommended by most people. Sorry, you bacon lover, madam, but that's just a fact. So they're very, very clever. They've gone to a lot of churches, in fact, and it seems to be that sometimes they don't drink, sometimes they don't. Well, they're vegan or vegan, and sometimes they're just plain old vegetarians. And they've done a real in-depth here. And yes, their recommendations to make everybody miserable are as follows. Red meat is not good, especially for colon cancer,
Right.
breast cancer. And they're not killjoys completely. They're saying if you can't do without it, fine, because red meat will produce beautiful amounts of iron, of course, and other important vitamins and minerals. They say don't have more than 3 portions of the palm of your hand in a week.
Right.
So 3 meals a week. And make sure your plate is covered with 75%, 3/4, of vegetables to accompany the meat. And that will give you the fiber.
Yeah, I would say I would say I think if you go out to a pub or a restaurant, you get that, don't you? You get
Could you live with that?
yeah. Well, I love vegetables. I like vegetables, but I just think you should eat everything in moderation. If you're going to just pig out on red meat all the time or bacon all the time, or the weird thing is I like bacon, but I don't like pork. Isn't that weird? I really
Pork
don't.
has got a lot of thumbs down from various.
I don't like pork. I know Portugal love it, don't they? Oh,
Yeah, but it's tasty meat, isn't it?
oh, I don't like it. I know in Portugal.
The meats you should aim at obviously are fish, chicken,
Yeah.
turkey, but they're not red meats and they're good for you.
No, I'm not a
And
fan
they
of
have
turkey.
the protein.
What do they say about game, like pheasant, partridge, stuff
It
like that?
depends. I mean, we have a lot of Sierra deer
Yeah. No,
all
here
the
we
year
do.
here.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's hardly got any fat in.
Oh, well, venison's very good. I quite like venison, but
Yeah.
it's quite strong flavour. But I do like venison. I have to say I do like venison. But yeah, my neighbour next door, it belongs to a shooting group, and which I can't bear the thought of it. But he goes out and he shoots the pheasants and the partridges and this, that, and the other, and whoa. And goose. I don't like goose either. I know that was the traditional thing. You go back to Charles
It'd be
Dickens'
very
time.
fatty.
It's so fatty, and it's just I'm not. Again, it's that gamey flavour. I don't like it.
No, it is very rich, very strong, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. I like
No.
it, but there you go. Some good tips are coming out of this. If you like your stews, obviously, in a lot of cases it's red meat, then fill the pot with potatoes and pulses,
All right.
beans. It thickens it up.
Yeah.
Tastes great because of the meat, but that's the way of getting fiber into you that way. The other thing is obviously the old recommendations of broccoli. Not everybody likes it, but it is so good for you. And fermented yogurts are now recommended.
Oh, they've been.
Fermented.
Yeah, they have been for a long time. They have been.
Yeah.
But
And even
I
cheese
eat natural, absolutely natural Greek yogurt.
yeah. And even
Natural
cheese.
Greek yogurt. Nothing else. The natural one.
The other thing, of course, is walnuts. If
Oh,
you want
yes.
a really good nut. And again, a lot of people don't like the taste of them.
I think with walnuts is that skin that you get on sometimes.
Yes, sometimes, yeah.
I'm not over keen. I mean, I'll eat them. I like all nuts. I love almonds. I love pistachio nuts.
Yeah.
And cashew nuts. I like them.
But look for bright foods. Dark leafy greens that are bright food. Rich red peppers are a bright food. In other words, contrasty colours.
Yeah.
And it's the fibre that gets some of the nasties through the system. That's the idea behind it.
And do you know how you can tell if a pepper is female or male?
Go on, I shall learn something
It's
every
the
day.
bumps at the bottom. If there's 3, when you only got the bit with the stalk at the top, when it comes down to the bottom at the base, if there's 3 bumps, it's male. If there's 4, it's female.
Oh, there you go. You see, the females are different all the time. They've got more of
Yeah,
it.
says we got more bumps.
Yes. Yes, I've not thought for the day we'd better go before we're in more trouble. We'll see you very shortly.
So have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. You know, what news will be next week? My goodness me, I don't think.
It's only going to be miserable. That's the only stuff that's.
Okay, have a good one.